My beloved child, pause right here. Let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders relax. This message did not arrive by accident, and it did not reach you too late. It arrived at the exact moment your spirit could finally hear it. I am not speaking to frighten you. I am speaking to shield you. For some time now, you have felt a quiet disturbance you could not explain. A sense of being observed without proof. A subtle tension in the air, as if something was unfolding just beyond your awareness. You questioned yourself. You wondered if you were imagining things. But you were not. I am the Lord your God, and I reveal what is hidden when protection requires it. And now, Archangel Michael stands beside you, because what must be spoken can no longer wait. Listen carefully. Someone sought answers about you without the courage to ask you directly. Not with violence, not with crime, but with curiosity that crossed a sacred line. They hired someone to look into your life, to observe from a distance, to gather details they believed would give them clarity, control, or peace. But what they found was not what they expected. The one they sent did not complete the task as planned, because when he looked into your life, something interrupted him, something unsettled him, something holy. He saw a life marked by prayer, resilience, and quiet strength. He saw wounds you never displayed. He saw a heart that had been broken but not corrupted. And instead of continuing, he stopped. Not out of fear of being caught, but because truth confronted him. He walked away from the assignment. He confessed, and that confession reached heaven. That is why Michael has been waiting. That is why this message is reaching you now. You have been protected even when you felt exposed, covered even when you felt vulnerable, watched over even when you thought you were alone. The eyes that tried to study you were met by light, and light does not negotiate with shadows. Breathe again. What you are hearing now is not entertainment. It is instruction. It is confirmation. It is alignment. And if your spirit feels stirred as you listen, stay connected. Remain close. These messages do not come often, and they do not come randomly. Make sure you are able to receive the next one when it arrives, because what follows this revelation carries guidance for what you are about to step into. Now listen closely. The one who initiated this search did not begin with malice. It began with longing, with confusion, with the ache of not understanding how they lost access to you. Your withdrawal changed something in them. Your silence disturbed them. Your growth unsettled them. They could not reconcile the version of you they remembered with the strength you became. And instead of asking, they observed. Instead of speaking, they watched. But heaven does not ignore boundaries being crossed. And I do not allow my children to be studied like mysteries, instead of honored like revelations. That is why the truth surfaced. Not to humiliate anyone, but to remind you who you are. You are not someone's investigation. You are someone's awakening. Archangel Michael is not here to warn you of danger. He is here to remind you of authority. Because from this moment forward, clarity replaces confusion. Discernement replaces doubt. Peace replaces fear. You may soon receive a message, a hesitant apology, an unexpected request to speak, a presence from the past attempting to re-enter your awareness. When that moment comes, pause. Do not respond from old wounds. Respond from the power you now carry. You owe no explanations. You owe no defenses. Truth is already working on your behalf. Understand this clearly, my child. Nothing was taken from you. Nothing was stolen. What was revealed to free you. And now I am clearing your path. Hidden motives are being exposed. False curiosity is losing access. Uninvited eyes are being turned away. Your destiny is not public property. Your future is not open for inspection. Your journey belongs to me. You may have noticed changes recently. People acting differently around you. Unspoken tension. Unexpected attention. Sudden distance. This is not coincidence. It is alignment. You are entering a season where truth rises without effort, where masks fall without confrontation, where doors open because resistance has been removed. And Michael is watching carefully how you receive this. Not judging, observing, because when your heart fully accepts that you are protected, movement accelerates. What once took months will take days. What felt delayed will suddenly rush forward. What seemed impossible will reorganize itself around your obedience. You are not being watched anymore. You are being witnessed. There is a difference. And now hear this with clarity and calm. Forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. Release the need to understand why they chose distance over honesty. Release the urge to revisit what no longer holds authority over your life. I am preparing something new, and it requires a heart unburdened by resentment. Your story is shifting. Your name is being spoken differently. Your presence is carrying weight you did not have before. And this is only the beginning. Stay here. Remain open. Remain listening. Heaven is not finished speaking. Stay with me, my beloved child. Do not rush past this moment. Let these words settle gently, because what is unfolding now is not loud, but it is powerful. You have spent too long questioning your instincts, too long doubting the quiet voice inside you that sensed when something was not right. You told yourself you were imagining things. You tried to be reasonable, patient, forgiving beyond measure. But hear me clearly now. Your discernment was never broken. It was sharpened. What you felt was real. What you sensed was accurate. And what has now been revealed is proof that your spirit has always been tuned to truth. Archangel Michael stands firm beside you, not with fear, but with certainty. He is not alarmed by what was uncovered. He is calm, because heaven was never surprised. This was never about someone watching you. This was about heaven reminding you who walks with you. You see, when someone tried to understand you without honoring you, they stepped into territory they did not control. They thought information would give them power, but power does not come from observation. Power comes from alignment. And you, my child, are aligned. That is why the one who was sent could not continue. That is why their conscience was pierced. That is why truth rose without force. Because light does not argue. It simply reveals. Now listen carefully, because this is where your role matters. Soon, you may feel an emotional shift, a soft release, as if something you have been carrying quietly is finally being lifted from your chest. That is not weakness. That is relief. You are stepping out of a season where you had to guard yourself constantly. Out of a season of hyper-awareness, second-guessing, and silent endurance, into a season of clarity, and clarity changes everything. The person who initiated this chain of events is being confronted, not by you, but by their own reflection. They are realizing that what they sought externally was something they lacked internally. Peace, integrity, wholeness. That realization is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to keep walking forward without shrinking. You do not need to confront them. You do not need to explain what you now know. Your composure will speak louder than confrontation ever could. Because when truth stands calmly, it disarms fear. You may notice people responding to you differently now, listening more closely, hesitating before crossing boundaries, treating your presence with new respect. This is not coincidence. This is authority settling into your spirit. Authority does not announce itself. It is felt. You have earned this season through patience, restraint, and trust when answers were delayed. And I know there were nights you asked why. Why honesty felt so rare. Why people chose distance over courage. Why love felt complicated when your intentions were pure. I was with you in every one of those moments. I saw you choose silence instead of retaliation, growth instead of bitterness, faith instead of collapse. And now I am showing you what was happening beyond your sight. This is not to reopen wounds. It is to close them completely. From this point forward, you will no longer feel the need to explain your boundaries. You will simply live within them. And those who respect you will remain. Those who do not will fade naturally. This is alignment at work. If your heart feels stirred right now, stay connected. Remain attentive. Not every message is meant for everyone, but this one reached you for a reason. There are further confirmations ahead, and you deserve to receive them when they come. Now hear this with gentleness. Forgiveness does not mean access. Compassion does not require proximity. You can release resentment without reopening doors. I am not asking you to return to what disrupted your peace. I am guiding you toward what protects it. There is a reason your energy shifted before any of this was revealed. Your spirit was already preparing for elevation. Elevation brings visibility. Visibility requires refinement. That is why I am teaching you discernment without suspicion, strength without hardness, awareness without fear. Because what is coming next requires a calm heart and a clear mind. The coming days will carry subtle confirmations. A conversation that feels different. An opportunity that feels aligned. A moment where you realize you are no longer reacting the way you used to. That is growth. And Michael is watching with approval. He has already stepped ahead of you, clearing what you cannot see yet, removing interference, redirecting paths, closing doors that were never meant to reopen. You are not behind. You are not late. You are precisely where timing and protection meet. And now let me say something you need to hear. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be recognized by the right ones. Those who tried to analyze you instead of honoring you were never meant to walk beside you. They were meant to witness your rise from a distance. And that is okay. Your life is not a puzzle for others to solve. It is a testimony unfolding exactly as designed. Take another breath. Feel how the weight has shifted. That is peace returning to its rightful place. From this moment on, Move slowly and intentionally. Speak when led. Remain observant, not guarded. Trust will return to you in healthier forms. Connection will come without confusion. Love will arrive without surveillance. Because I am rearranging your environment, and as this message continues, something deeper is being prepared inside you. A readiness, a quiet confidence. Stay present. Stay open. What comes next will anchor this truth even further. Heaven is still speaking. Remain still with me, my child. There is no urgency in heaven, only precision. Everything that is unfolding is happening exactly as it should. You are beginning to see more clearly now, not just what was happening around you, but what was happening within you. For a long time, you carried an unspoken tension, a sense that you had to stay alert, to read between lines, to protect your peace by staying quiet. That season is ending. You are not meant to live guarded forever. You were meant to live grounded. There is a difference. Guarded living comes from fear of being hurt again. Grounded living comes from knowing who stands with you. And now, you know, Archangel Michael is not retreating. He is positioning. He has already taken account of what tried to access you without permission. He has already neutralized what did not belong. And now, he is standing watch as your life recalibrates. This recalibration may feel subtle at first. You may notice your reactions changing. What once triggered anxiety now barely stirs your peace. What once demanded explanation no longer feels worth your energy. That is not indifference. That is authority settling into place. You are stepping into a phase where silence is no longer a defense mechanism, but a choice, where your calm is not confusion, but confidence, where your presence speaks before your words ever do. And this shift will not go unnoticed. The one who sought to understand you from a distance is now understanding something far more uncomfortable. They cannot reach what has been elevated beyond their access. They may feel regret. They may feel embarrassment. They may feel an urge to reframe the past. But none of that requires your involvement. Your involvement is with what is ahead, because something new is approaching your path, and it requires a clear emotional field. In the coming days, pay attention to what feels light. Pay attention to what no longer drains you. Pay attention to what brings a quiet sense of rightness. These are signals. You are being guided away from complexity and toward simplicity, away from confusion and toward clarity, away from emotional guessing and toward spiritual knowing. This is not a withdrawal from life. It is an arrival into alignment, and alignment creates momentum. Do not be surprised if opportunities begin to appear without struggle. If conversations flow without tension, if people respond to you with a respect you did not ask for, this is not luck. This is positioning. I am moving you into spaces where you no longer have to prove your intentions, where your integrity is assumed, where your energy is recognized. And I want you to hear this clearly. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to who you were before disappointment taught you to shrink. The gentleness you carry is not weakness. It is discernment refined by experience. The depth you hold is not heaviness. It is wisdom earned through endurance. And the peace now forming around you is not fragile. It is fortified. You may feel a pull to simplify your life, to release certain routines, to step back from environments that once felt familiar but now feel misaligned. Honor that pull. It is not isolation. It is preparation. Something meaningful is being arranged, and it requires space. There is a conversation coming that will clarify more than you expect. There is a connection approaching that will feel steady rather than intense. There is a door opening that will not require force. And when these things appear, you will recognize them not by excitement, but by peace. That is how you will know they are from me. If at any moment you feel tempted to look backward, to revisit what has already been revealed, pause. Do not re-enter spaces I have already cleared. What is ahead of you does not need your past attached to it. And let me say this gently. The one who initiated the observation of your life is no longer ahead of you. They are behind you, not in power, not in awareness, not in influence. They are behind you in clarity. And that is not said with judgment. It is said with finality. Your life is no longer a question mark. It is an answer unfolding. Your name is no longer being studied. It is being spoken with respect. Your presence is no longer something to figure out. It is something to honor. This is the turning point. And as this message continues, it will anchor something deep inside you. A certainty that cannot be shaken by speculation, curiosity, or hidden agendas. Stay with me. There is one more layer of truth that needs to settle into your spirit. And when it does, you will move forward lighter than you have in a long time. Heaven is still guiding. Michael is still watching. And you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stay here with me a little longer, my beloved child. This is where everything settles. This is where understanding becomes peace. You have carried yourself with quiet dignity through moments that would have hardened others. You chose restraint when reaction would have been easier. You chose growth when bitterness would have felt justified. And because of that, you are now standing at the threshold of a new chapter that does not require defense, explanation, or fear. This is the moment where the weight finally lifts. What was revealed was not meant to pull you backward. It was meant to free you from uncertainty so you could move forward without hesitation. You no longer need to wonder who is watching. You no longer need to scan rooms for hidden intentions. You no longer need to protect yourself by shrinking. You are protected because you are known. Archangel Michael remains beside you, not as a warning, but as assurance. His presence signals that what once tried to reach you without permission has been fully addressed. The matter is closed. The lesson has been delivered. The authority has been restored. And now, your life begins to breathe again. You may notice your sleep changing, your thoughts slowing, your heart softening without fear. That is not vulnerability returning. That is safety being reestablished. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces vigilance, where peace replaces anticipation, where your energy no longer leaks into unnecessary worry. And this shift will affect everything. Your conversations will change. Your choices will feel simpler. Your boundaries will feel natural instead of forced. You will no longer feel pulled to explain yourself to those who do not understand you. You will no longer feel the urge to revisit what has already been revealed. Because you are done surviving. You are beginning to live. Now listen closely, because this is important. The coming days are not meant to be rushed. Move with intention. Speak with calm authority. Let your actions be measured, and your responses be thoughtful. You do not need to announce your strength. It will be recognized. You do not need to prove your worth. It will be assumed. You do not need to correct misconceptions. Truth will do that for you. There is a new respect forming around you, even if you cannot yet see it. People will sense your steadiness. They will feel your grounded presence. They will respond differently without knowing why. This is not influence. This is alignment. And alignment attracts what belongs. Soon, you will notice doors opening without effort, invitations that feel right instead of draining, connections that feel balanced instead of uncertain. When these moments arrive, trust the peace that accompanies them. Peace is your compass now. And if at any point you feel tempted to doubt this shift, remember this truth. Nothing was revealed to harm you. Everything was revealed to protect you. You were never in danger. You were being guarded. And now that you know this, walk forward without carrying the past as armor. You do not need it anymore. There is one final thing I want you to understand deeply. You are not defined by who tried to understand you from a distance. You are defined by who you are becoming in truth. Your future is not shaped by observation. It is shaped by obedience and alignment. And what is being prepared for you next requires your full presence. A conversation is coming that will bring clarity without tension. An opportunity is forming that will not require compromise. A season is opening where you will feel seen without being examined. This is where your life begins to feel lighter. If this message has brought calm to your spirit, stay connected. Remain attentive. There will be moments ahead where guidance will arrive quietly, and you will want to recognize it when it does. Make space to receive what follows, because heaven continues to communicate with those who listen. Now take a deep breath. Feel how your body responds differently than it did when this message began. That is not imagination. That is alignment settling in. You are no longer under scrutiny. You are under covering. You are no longer being assessed. You are being guided. You are no longer waiting for clarity. You are walking in it. And as you move forward from this moment, remember this. You do not need to look back to confirm what has already been resolved. You do not need to seek validation from those who once doubted you. You do not need to fear what has been exposed. Everything that needed to come to light has done so. What remains now is peace. And Michael remains watchful, steady, and present as you step into what is next. Go gently. Move confidently. Trust deeply. You are protected. You are guided. You are free. And heaven is with you, now and always.